It's the 12th of March, and I'm understanding you today because you're a difficult human being, so there is no resentment. I'm understanding. So the theme is understanding, not resentment.
Okay.
So can you understand somebody? Can you have empathy? Let's see what Marcus Aurelius... I'm giving the Italian vibe today. Let's see what Marcus Aurelius said about this. Whenever someone wrongs you, take a moment to consider what ideas of right and wrong led them to act that way. When you understand this, you'll feel empathy instead of shock or anger. You might even realise that you share or once shared similar beliefs, making it easier to forgive them. And if you've moved beyond those beliefs, it becomes easier to show grace toward their mistake.
Beautiful.
Marcus Aurelius.
You know his stuff.
Have you heard of a little book called Meditations?
I certainly have. I've got a signed edition by the man himself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marcus. We were talking about this on the way to the studio to record this today, and I think I asked you the question of, were you ever like that? Well, actually, were we ever like lazy? Were we ever tired? We were talking about it and we were like, was that ever us? Because it's very easy to judge somebody, but actually, were we once like them? Can you put yourself in their position? If you'd lived the life that they'd led, would you be like they were?
Yes.
And can you have empathy? Empathy is a big one. I remember, and I don't know if it's a story for the podcast, but let's see, I'll get it out.
What, the story?
When me and my partner were living in a flat, a lot of parcels used to go missing, used to get stolen.
Sure.
And my partner used to get really, really, really annoyed and frustrated because it was...
Give us an example of what was in one of these parcels.
We ordered like I'm just a middle class man ordering gusto food.
Wow,
so like
rich.
A cook at home meal. And somebody took it. And I don't know what you'd want with a box of carrots and potatoes and a little bit of fine lean beef. But they took that and they stole it. And my partner was annoyed about it. And I said, yeah, but let's we don't know who's taken this, but let's imagine that actually they're at home and they don't have food this week or they don't have shopping. So it's trying to, and it's hard, but it's trying to look at it from a different perspective and have empathy.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important to do that in sales because you're ringing people and they might let you down last minute. They might annoy you. They might frustrate you. But it's about how can you reframe things and have empathy or use it to your power.
Exactly. So think about cold call to someone Monday morning. You're feeling sprightly. You give it the best opener you can possibly give it, and you get, look, you should go and bloody hurt yourself for doing this. You should get your data and set it on fire in front of all your loved ones and like whatever they're going to say.
Yeah,
nasty stuff that people say. Don't think that's a terrible person. Think, what's normally happened in my life when I've behaved like that first thing in the morning? I've stubbed my toe on the way out. The cat's been smoking again. All these different things when you think, why is the cat smoking inside? There's a designated smoking area if the cat's outside. All the things that would annoy you could have happened to this person that happened to you. We're more similar than we are different. And when you start going into every conversation thinking that and seeing the other side as a human being as well as you start to have much more empathy in what you're doing and mean what you're saying. And there's all sorts of different sales skills that we can talk about going into a deeper understanding, which is what our whole approach is about. But I think first and foremost, start there. Start with that empathy. Even when people are, I see people talking about this on LinkedIn a lot. You might have someone who's very warm in a discovery call. There's a nice warm follow-up email. Actually, they've got to reschedule for the decision, fine. And then it comes to the reschedule date and you get an email saying, sorry, not interested anymore. Now, rather than going, that's rude because we had this rapport built and whatever, think actually that's a person who might have thought they were going to use this, gone to get budget, and actually there's some embarrassment there and they're wanting to keep the message as short and sweet as possible as a bit of self-preservation.
Yeah.
Like, think about it like that rather than thinking everything's so personal.
So good. And then I've got a story for you,
Okay.
and it ties into understanding and not resentment and control and what you're in control of. We had a client that we've been working with for about a year, and we were talking about renewals and things like that. And we saw them. We said they've not signed the contract and signed the invoice. That's a bit weird. So I saw them at one of the calls, and I said, definitely, like, you've not got any cold feet. It's okay if you have, like, no, it's definite. And then the next morning, I woke up at 5:30 and I had a message. Sorry, it's a no. Wish you all the best. Okay, and all of a sudden, the emotion floods over. That's unfair. That's unjust. I've been lied to. X, Y, and Z. All these feelings, and then I exhaled out, and I just thought, okay, it's done now. There's no change in somebody's mind. What can I control? Am I going to be a stoic? And I text you and I said, I've got something for you. Be stoic. And we just laughed about it. And we just said, right, okay, well, that's the situation now. And we used that. And what we did is we used that fuel and the knowledge that we'd had about that space. And we were proactive. And we were proactive with it. And we went out and we spoke to other people. And I think
you were good, actually. I don't you give yourself enough credit for that. They left. I don't know how stoic this is, but you went, right, who's the biggest competitor? And then got a meeting with them, and now they're a client. So I don't know if you can say that was stoic.
I think it was stoic, fair. I didn't let the emotions run through. But yeah, I think it's about like, right, okay, that's happened. But you can use things as fuel or energy to kind of change your course. It's like, right, what have I learned from this now? Okay, can I turn a negative into a positive? And can I understand and not have resentment? So I don't have resentment because we've got a much bigger, better client on board now. I've been Jack Frimston.
I've been Zach Thompson.
Remember, you will die.
Cheryl Cole.